Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch, and today is October, I think it's the 17th. I can't keep track of days. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to not shake you on my table, but my COVID brain just, I don't know the day of the week. I don't know the date. Every day is a new day. That's all I can say about that. So I was contemplating whether to wait a day or so to do a video, but I have been stitching. Every few minutes I just end up stitching, except for last night. So how many of you out there do puzzles too? Well, I have a lot of Charles Wysocki type puzzles. Maybe not exactly his brand name, but I just love the puzzles because there are all kinds of, it's like stitching a sampler. There's motifs everywhere. So it's kind of fun to put those together. The puzzle goes together very fast. I have a fall one that I worked on last night. I opened it up. We were watching The Haunting of Bly Hill. It's on, I think, Netflix. I'll put a banner here and tell you exactly the name. There's a whole season. We watched it in 2 nights. And when I say we, really, my husband watched it the first night with me, and then I binge watched the rest of it last night. And I did a puzzle on this table. And the puzzle, I can't, it's worse than stitching. If there's a puzzle out, I'm there. And I'm there for hours. Like, I'll be the person that they'll put on my tombstone. She was sitting over a puzzle when she left this earth. I love them. I like complex problem solving though. And I think puzzles are very sort of like stitching. For me, they're therapeutic. They're very easy to do, comfortable. You know, you could sit down with a cup of tea, a glass of wine, watch some TV, work on it, not work on it. I love puzzles. So lately I did that last night. So that meant no stitching last night. And then I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. So 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to bed. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" I was working on a puzzle. I says, "Oh, okay." He rolls over and he's like, "That's what it is." And last weekend, I went to my sister's and my mom's down in Oregon. We took some items into the local regional craft store and had them framed. I took English Garden Sampler. How can I have forgotten that? English Sampler by Sampler's Not Forgotten. Anyway, I took it in. I had in mind what I wanted. Now, that project has a lot of blue, green, sort of blush to dark blush color, and sort of a cream. And I knew that finding the right frame was going to be tough on that one. So we did that one first. The one I thought I was going to use was the first one I pulled off the wall. And I liked it, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then we had, I think, every frame. We tried everything. And I went back to the first one, and I put a fillet underneath it, and that should be done shortly. I might go down for Halloween. My husband will be coming back from hunting, but I might go down there and pick it up. Then we'll see. So we played cards Friday night and Saturday night with my mom, my sister, and my sister's husband, my brother-in-law. We played Friday night, and we were laughing so hard we were crying. I mean, it was just such a great night to be with people, because I go weeks since just my husband and I. And the outing, I might go to the post office. That's it. I'm an extroverted person, so that's why y'all keep me company, right? So last weekend I did just not much stitching, but like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday of the week, during the week, I am stitching every night, 4 hours, for several hours, because I work from home. My commute is from here to there, right? It's not very far, and it's very easy to sit down and stitch. And my husband cooks. He does the grocery shopping and cooks. I clean up. I have a dishwasher. It seems unfair, doesn't it? But you know what? He likes it, and I'm better at the cleaning piece, so it's a good match. And let's see what else. I think that's all that's happened since I talked with you a couple weeks ago. This table is full of stuff, and I think each time I do a video, I think I don't really have a lot to talk about, and then heaping piles of stuff. So let's talk about giveaways first. So 3 videos, I guess not including this one. This was a giveaway. Angels remembered and the person didn't claim it. So their loss is your gain. I redrew, and Kathy Plaquette, Plaque, Plaquette, you won this. Kathy with a K. I will comment on your comment in the video and hopefully you see it. And then the very popular Mayflower Project bag with this gorgeous interior fabric and the sought after Blackbirds out of print Mayflower fabric on the back was won by Jean Rounds. And Jean is a friend of mine. We have spent some time at retreats together. So Jean, congratulations. I think if I see you at the Midwest retreat, I can just bring it to you, or if you want me to mail it before then, either way is fine. I'll comment on your comment. So congratulations to the 2 people that have who won. So I do have a couple of samplers to give for the next video. I'm gonna take this one out because, you know, shininess. The first one was a gift, and I believe I already had this one. So this is a Victoria sampler. I have several of hers and I haven't stitched any yet, but they're beautiful. The accessory packs are expensive, but they are far less expensive than buying all the skeins and then having all this extra inventory that you don't need. So I appreciate the accessory packs. Understand that you can't get it. You're probably not gonna get them for everything. This is Ravenhill Herb Farm Sampler. And this is just, the colors in this are beautiful. Look at those trees. Look at this tree. Isn't that pretty? And then the evergreen looking trees, and then the garden in the middle. It's got the pulled work in the middle too. It looks like hardanger, but you wouldn't have to do that. You could certainly come up with a stitched motif to put in there if that is more in your comfort zone. And then that little barn down there is adorable. So number 1 is Ravenhill Herb Farm Sampler. The second is also, the next 2 I think are a gift from a friend, a benefactress who occasionally sends me a surprise in the mail and I don't know it's coming, and she's just so generous. This is Redbird Company. Stitching is comfort for the soul. It comforts and brings peace. It is love for friends and family as we find joy in the journey. Isn't that the truth? And then this looks like it has one of those Hog Hill frames on it, which I love and wish I had bought back in the day. So here is Redbird Company. Okay, so that's the second one. You could certainly change the colors completely on this, and it would give it an updated look if you find something that is more in keeping with the colors in your home, or maybe you want to stitch it for someone else and they have different colors that they like. Then the third one is, this is a fun one, and this one I think would go quickly because it's like black work. This is the Queen's Garden Sampler by Queenstown Sampler. Isn't that cool? It's a band sampler, so I'm going to start at the top, I guess. And kind of, the top looks like Celtic knotwork. And then there's more of it with some swans in the middle. And then there are people, and there are pumpkins with that. And it's like a harvest, sort of an Adam and Eve harvest. A floral sampler band. This looks like lacy pumpkins, and then an alphabet at the bottom. So this, if you want this, any of these, this is number 3. We'll do numbers. It'll be easier than trying to figure out keywords. So 1, Ravenhill, 2, Redbird, and 3, Queen's Garden. 1, 2, or 3. Don't put all. I'm not going to search all. So tell me if you want 1, 2, or 3. Just write 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's have a question. What is the first, when you were a kid, if you were a trick-or-treater, what is the first candy that you would trade out of your candy stash for anything else? What's the thing that you did not like in your stash, in your candy stash that you got? So mine, when I was a kid, I didn't like paydays. Like who gives a kid a payday? It's got nuts in it. Now I love paydays. When I was a kid, I would almost give those away for free, but I would kind of hoard them and see if I could get my sister and my brother to trade for those. My mom always liked them, so we would give her those. Now as an adult, I'm not a big fan of I like Milky Ways. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not a big fan of Three Musketeers. I would trade that for pretty much anything. And my favorite, of course, is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup because peanut butter and chocolate, marriage made in heaven for me. So that is the giveaway portion of the video. What else is on this table of goodness? Okay, so what I've been working on since we last spoke, I couldn't remember. You know, you can kind of get caught up in your stitching, at least I do, and then I'm like, what did I work on since last time? Well, since I finished English Garden Sampler, I picked up a new brunette. If you're new to my channel, you didn't see it a couple of channels ago, I'm on a weekly rotation, a blonde and a brunette. My blonde tends to be a lighter color palette, and my brunette is a darker color palette. And what I find is that if I stitch too much dark stuff, for me, I get bored with it after a while. And this just breaks up, and a week is long enough for me where I get quite a bit of stitching done, but I don't, like, I'm ready for a break at the end. So I picked up Halloween at Holly Berry Farm by Stacy Nash, and enhanced with wine stain. I don't know, you guys, I'm a klutz with the wine. Halloween at Holly Berry, and I did quite a bit on this one. Oh, I got cat hair on it. Gotta love that. So I brought her over to the corner closest to my face here. On your side, I guess that would be to the right. I added a little bit to the house, started building my second story, and everything to the right of the cat, the witch, the tree, the cemetery crosses, the border, the rest of the wrought iron, that's all new. And I did change some colors on this. So this, if you look at this picture, it looks like blue. It looks like blue and white, and it is, I loved it. This is exactly what I wanted. When I went to pick the colors, this is actually the blacky charcoal colors, which I don't mind. I like just fine, but I really like the blue. So I have switched out, I'm just going to pick this up. Instead of the, oh gosh, where's the color? Carriage Black, and I think Raven. Carriage Black and Raven. I have Blacksmith Blue and Black Crow. And these are both very blue colors, but they're dark. They're a medium and a dark blue. And the white is not this, it calls for roasted marshmallow, which was really, I wanted more contrast. So I picked up Grits from Weeks. And I love it. It just really, it pops off the color. This is Wood Smoke, Vintage Wood Smoke by Lakeside. I love, love, love this fabric. I love it. It's fantastic fabric. And I scooched it over so I could salvage a little bit on this side here, and I sort of have an idea of what I want to use that for, and we'll see. We'll see if it fits on the scrap, hopefully. Yeah, so that was my first whip. And then I picked up Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with my needle and thread. So honestly, I just have angst of whether or not I should have even posted my whip updates on Instagram, because when I saw this the first time, it was released at the Shepherd's Bush retreat, I think 3 years ago. I was at the Midwest retreat and I saw this, and I just gasped. It's just so beautiful. I just love it. It is being released and it's being shipped to shops. So I think it's available for pre-order from some shops. Dying to Stitch put it on their page. I saw Tomorrow's Heirlooms. I get their newsletter. They are getting it. Everyone's going to get it, but I think pre-orders, you might look at Kitten Stitcher also. I know Acorns and Threads will definitely carry it. I'm not sure if they're pre-ordering. Anyway, so let me show you how far I am. And this is one where I'm stitching this on 40 count fresco by Picture This Plus. It has a bit of a green, a greenish, there's some little bits of green over dyed, but they're very faint. And I did it on purpose because I love pink, green, red together. That house, I had a ton of questions on that house on my last Instagram post because I had finished the house. This is the call for thread. It is Weeks Conch. And my first skein was pretty pink. I ended up needing a second skein and it was not quite as pink, but I had to blend it in and you couldn't tell unless you looked really close. So it's pretty close, but there's going to be some variability in that, potentially in that dye lot. So just know that going into it. The reds, there's a couple different color reds. I substituted 2 Victoria Motto threads. I picked Hearthside and Variegated Cranberry. But look at isn't that pretty? I love it. Yep. And this is as far as the top border goes over. And then there's another border that goes around the corner there to finish this off. And then the big basket is left. So I really need to put in this basket, my initials, stitch this motif and fill this in, and then do this on the corner. It is my week. So I'm stitching on this week. Here are the threads. Oh, I love this. Isn't that, I mean, this is just my color palette. This is my jam right here. I love red. Love it. I mean, look, I'm wearing red. I like earth tones. My house has a lot of wood in it. So it already has, it's that Northwest vibe. It's very tree, wood floors. My furniture is scan design. So it's a little more of a modern, low back, all black. And, but my walls are sort of they're like toasted marshmallow. That's the color of my walls and my drapes in here. So it can take color. My house can take a lot of color. And I can't wait to get this finished. So I'm going to hang it year round. I don't care if it's a Christmassy looking, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to hang it permanently. So I'm really happy that everyone is getting a chance to stitch this. Once I stitch this, I mean, that's really the big part that I have left. And I am going to, this is charted separately with, I think, this cardinal. And I do have plans to stitch that as well. And I have something that I'm going to mount it in. So great news for everybody. So happy about that. And a lot of people have been messaging me about colors and threads and, you know, because it's so highly sought after that people want to get those ordered. So they have it in time for when the pattern comes. Those are my 2 whips. That's all I worked on for stitching. Let me just show you what I worked on for quilting. I have, this is not blueberry. If it shows up as blue, it's not, it's purple. It could be the lighting. But I have this table runner and it's fun. It's fun Halloween fabrics. This was leftover. No, I had a quilt that I was making and I ended up making a table runner out of it instead because the quilts didn't come out square because my quilting mat that I had for decades, I finally realized was off by a fair amount. So I blocked it and it'll work out. So this one, there's half of it. There's the other half. And I used a variegated thread to quilt it on the back. My machine and I had arguments. I was really not very happy with it. The quilting thread is a heavier thread. And it was difficult for my walking foot to put an even stitch on it. So it's not perfect, which is okay, right? It's for me. I'll put the binding on that. I think I'm going to put a black binding on it, some kind of a scrappy black binding. Find a spot for this. And that's my to-do list for this weekend. A finish that I had, and I posted this on Instagram. I bought this when Lori Textiles and I went junking one day down in Oregon. And we saw this, and I had been working on this whip, and I saw this piece, and I bought it. And she's like, you know what has to go in there? I'm like, yeah, I know what has to go in there. And I contemplated some other finishes, but this is Brenda Gervais, The Cat in the Moon, and it is stitched. So I'm just gonna pick it out. It's like I made like a disc, and it goes in this vase, this black vase. It's sort of like depression glass, but it's black, carnival glass maybe. And it's a match made in heaven. This is the peanut butter and chocolate of the stitching world. I just love it. It's hard to pick up vertically. I'll put a picture in here so you can see it from the top. But I love it when you have a vision of a finish and it turns out the way you, or even better than you expected. That was the case here. Sometimes the finishes don't turn out the way that I expect, and I get frustrated with myself or the sewing machine or whatever, right? So I loved it. And Brenda Gervais, I mean, she's just right up there. Her stuff is amazing. That's it for whips. That's it for finishes. I have some haul here. I know, surprise, right? But I also have some Stitchy kindness. This mystery bag is the Acorns and Threads Summit Retreat projects from Beth Twist and Paulette from Plum Street Samplers. We, with COVID, it was postponed. Actually, no, it was canceled in person. And it was offered through Zoom, and they didn't charge any more than the deposit for the kits. And I was really appreciative. I mean, I can't say enough about Janine and the way she runs her business. She's just an amazing person. And then Beth and Paulette. And hey, Acorns and Threads has a Flosstube now. I'll link them below. Yeah, they've got like 5 videos up, and they have their open house is virtual this year. Now, I buy the coupon book because I go probably once a month, and I use my coupon. It's usually a 20% off coupon, so it could be fabric or thread. There's a poker chip month where it can be 20 to 50%. You just pick a poker chip, and then that's the percent you get off your whole order. Last month, I think it was the 20% off your order, so it's worth it. It's not very much. I think the book was like $12 or $15. It's not much. And if you order from them, even virtually, if you order from them often, it's worth it. So I'm not supposed to open this until next Saturday at the Zoom meeting. And it's killing me. Oh, it's living right now on my bag that Lori Textilis made me. It's a Mondo bag out of French General fabric. And this is gorgeousness. Lori is such an excellent seamstress. And it's so beautifully made. What else did I get there? Oh, I got this Blackbird. I go, oh, I've never seen this before. It's in the Ooh La La book. Somebody pointed out. I didn't know that. But now I have both. So I might give that away in the future. And I also picked up a different fabric by Fabric on a Whim. This is 40 count oatmeal. And this is a really pretty fabric. It's very warm. And oatmeal's a good name for it, although I would say it has a bit of a green. It's like a goldish light sampler color with maybe a tinge of green on it. And I got the fat half because, oh my gosh, right? I might need a fat half of fabric someday. Not that I don't have a few in my stash. I think that's it for Acorns. Oh, no, I take that back. I got my coupon book. And I also picked up from Heartstring Samplery. I don't have any Be Well and Stitch items stitched up, which is, I have a lot of them saved, but I don't know why I haven't stitched them. And I don't want 2020 to go by without commemorating this year, because in our lives, we will probably never see something quite like this, right? And so I picked up What a Time to Be Alive. This is available through Acorns and Threads. And it says, what a time to be alive. I think it says stitched during the pandemic. At the bottom, you can change it. I think it says stitched during the pandemic 2020 or something to that effect. Stitched while the earth stood still, spring 2020, global pandemic. I'll probably take spring out and just put 2020 because this runaway train lasted a lot longer than we expected, I think, from the beginning, right? And our expectations have changed. And because Janine did what everybody does in the world, which is order more than you expect, she sent a free skein, look at that, free, of $4.44. So who doesn't like free stuff? Okay, so next I want to talk about a little bit of Stitchy kindness before I talk about hauls. So we have a group of girls that got together last year at Lori's house on the canyon in Sisters, Oregon. She calls it the Sisters house. People, it was fantastic. There was like 8 people. And so an intimate weekend, oh, that sounds weird, right? A weekend with friends is what your soul needs, quite frankly. And we decided to have this scissor fob gift. We make one for everyone. Ask me how I'm doing with that. I'm behind, as per usual. But Tara Sullivan sent this. This is by LaDonna Sampling of Memories. I think she had this made for us specially. Stitching Sisters is what this says. Stitching Sisters. It has a needle and it's got the scissors and button, and it's a scissor fob. And I miss those girls. Let me tell you, I miss my retreat friends. I love my Instagram friends. I love my my YouTube friends. Look at this card. Does this not just kill you? So sweet. I think of everything this year, I have been blessed beyond measure in a lot of ways. And it came in this. I really miss my friends that I have met in person and could spend time with. Or I've met on Zoom. Thank you, Tara. And then this came in the mail one day, a couple days ago. Was it a couple days ago? Maybe it was even as soon as yesterday. And my friend Mary from, I think she's in Florida, or she's in Georgia. Stitcher211 on Instagram. Isn't that card beautiful? It's got some bling to it. You know, people send you things. It's like God brings us gifts when you don't even expect it. And I opened this up, and this is, first of all, it has this box, and it has like the JB coats, super like antique looking. It's very well made. It smells so good. So a little sewing box, and inside was this sea salt and spice. It smells like a good version of what the ocean smells like. She put in this magnetic what do they call this? Notepad. Notepad's the word I'm looking for. My COVID brain. Taking it one stitch at a time. Do I not love that? Yes, I love that immensely. And then a needle holder. You got me at Pins and Needles. She punched some floss thread holders. Aren't those gorgeous? All of these. And then another thread holder. You made the world a beautiful place. Wow. Thank you. And then the thing that she said, this is you all the way. Do not ask about the stash. Do not ask about the stash. This is going to be on my tombstone. Do not ask about the stash. I told my husband that, and he just looked at me like, is there something I should know? I'm like, have you walked into my craft room lately? Don't do it. Thank you, Mary. You made my week, for sure. So I appreciate that. And so some haul. Let's see. So I called Country Sampler and talked with, is it Jeannie? Jeannie, I think. Very nice. They're very nice there. Our retreat was canceled, and I didn't carry over to next year because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go next year. There's a lot going on. So I worked on how to spend my deposit. Because Country Sampler, I mean, I just want to hand in my wallet. I picked up Peace and Goodwill. I think Brenda might have shown this from Brenda in the Cereal Starter. And this, I might start this next month. Peace and Goodwill sampler. It's a kit. You can buy it directly from them. The whole thing. And they have a conversion. They're Country Sampler conversions. So there's that. I'll just figure that out later. Then our Schoolgirl Society Club sampler came in. This is the red and green carnation sampler. Is that not gorgeous? Well, I could take this out. So let's say maybe it was one of those plastic containers that are, you know, not easy to get to. But this is just a Ziploc. This one's easy. All right. I don't know if I showed you this last time. I just can't remember. But I love the peacocks on that. And I love the colors. And I think there are... Nope, they're not eyelets. That one will go pretty quickly. And the colors. Look at that. Oh, they do such a great job with merchandising. I mean, I'm going to buy everything. And I loved going there and staying in the apartment above. That was fun. So that was from Country Sampler. Swanky Sim on Instagram. I gotta quit watching her post because every time she posts something, I'm like, I get that. I get that. She showed some Vicky Clayton silks. There are greens and golds and reds and pinks and everything that you might see in this. In fact, if I hadn't stitched this, I might have bought this and substituted and stitched with these. That would have been a good idea. So she has a fall pack out now too that is, it's gorgeous, gorgeous thread. So that is Victoria Clayton, hand-dyedfibers.com, I believe. I'll put a link below. I also found on, this was Etsy. Lori showed me this at her house, and I was like, why is that? But I didn't. I found somebody had posted this. This is a kit, a table runner kit by Blackbird Designs. And it just happened to be a one-off, but it has, and I don't know if the M is a, I bet I could put a different letter on there. I probably could put S for Smith. I haven't opened it. I'm not sure what happened. I got cut off. It said maximum something, but at least I got a banner, a warning banner. So I picked that up off of Etsy. I'm also looking for all the Blackbird quilt books. So I'll show you what I picked up. I got this, the Fresh Bloom. This is an older one from Blackbird Designs. It's a pattern from 2005. And I am interested in the applique. So Olivia B did a great kind of a sewing kit that was personalized, and she had never done applique before. And girlfriend, you did a great job. It takes a lot of courage to try something that is new, right? And I can be a perfectionist. I'm really not, but I want to do it well, and I want to do it right out of the chute. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't done knitting, because I don't want to start making dish rags. I want to knit a sweater, right? So hats off to her. I told myself I was going to applique this year, and I've got those Applique tools, so I need to figure that out and just start working on it. I also picked up this one, Sweet Romance. This could be like Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. This in a Civil War print, gorgeous. I picked up Betsy Ross Flag, because you know me, I'm a patriotic stitcher. I love that. Primitive Hair. And then I picked up the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And then the Christmas one is out, and it is amazing. Look at that. Barbara Anna. You guys. I picked up The Gift is Small. I didn't have this in my stash. I don't know why. I don't think this one was really one when I picked it up I had to have it. But Wild the Blackbird. Then this is I have one more coming to round out the major Blackbird designs books. So I showed this on my Insta stories and Kelly Stadola. It's like, dang it, I had to go buy that one. So there are wool applique in here. There is a gorgeous quilt. Let me show you this. I for sure am going to make this, and I love the colorway. I'll probably make it very similar to that. These are fun too. Sheets with applique on them. I'm not sure if I put them on sheets. That's a lot of work for something that will go through the washer and the dryer. Maybe pillowcases. What else was in here that I want to show y'all? That's fun. Embroidery, wool applique, beautiful, beautiful quilt. Oh, and they do rug hooking too. Then I had this one, When the Autumn Wind Blows. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. This does have, aside from quilts, let me just show you a couple things that are in here. This wool applique here, the bird, is that not adorable? I might have to, I don't know, 118 weeks until retirement. That's all I got to say. Oh, and this one, that quilt, sorry about that, I had to cough. That Christmas quilt is gorgeous, gorgeous. I know. So the one I don't have, and the one that I waited and I didn't pick up for some reason, I don't know why I didn't do it, is the Raven. This is a Blackbird. This was from a couple years ago. I think it's their last book that they did. I'm going to insert a picture here. I can't find it anywhere. I cannot find it anywhere. If you are a quilter and you've seen that book recently at a quilt store, could you let me know where you saw it? Just in the comment, tell me where you think I can find that. I'm on the hunt because when I saw it, when it came out, I thought for sure I needed that. And I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't buy it. So, all right. So I did pick up some fabrics. This one is Three Sisters, I think it is. No, Savannah Classics by Sarah Morgan. Washington Street Studio. It's pretty. That might be project bags. There's a blender fabric. I love anything that's like this is good, and your lights and your quilts. I got my Tula fat quarter bundle. I'm sorry, Tilda. Get my manufacturers right. Tilda, and hers, the colorways on this, there's sort of a dusty blue. There's some with sort of a mustard background. There's this umber. There's umber. There's greens. It's a great fabric line. So that came. My order of fabric from Australia, because as I do my Nancy Drew looking for out of print Blackbird fabric, I found this one. This is a great fabric. This is gingham and rhubarb. It's an old Blackbird line. This is Three Sisters. Is this not? I love this fabric. I should have bought more of it. I just absolutely adore this. And then a complementary fabric to go with it is this one. And also from Three Sisters, this is Roman Holiday. This is fantastic. Look at that. It is so pretty. That is such pretty fabric. An old Blackbird from At Home, Harvest at Home, I think. I remember when this came out. Got some of that. And this one is an older line. This is Chelsea Boutique, the Blackbird. It's pretty. And then this one is from, I think this is Garden Party. Yep. This is more of the sampler type fabric, but it is sort of an olivey color with red looking stitching and maybe a palomino weeks color. So that came in the mail. And then the last is some project bag material. And I made some of these last year and they sold so fast. I mean, y'all, thank you for my repeat customers and my people on my Instagram page. What I do is I have an Instagram page that is at Kindred Stitcher Designs. When you go to that page and I post bags, I make a bag, I post it, and I sell the bag. I don't take orders. I do this for fun, and it is on top of a very full-time job. So you just claim it on that post. The first person to claim it gets the bag. That's the way it works. I had a lot of Halloween stuff that I just posted. I think there were almost 30 bags in that group, and they sold. I would post one and it would sell. So this I bought last year. This was more in an aqua colorway. This one has more grays and reds in it. And look at that, guys. With the gingerbread houses and the peppermints and all the good things. And this is going to be the inside. Just a speckled color. And this I bought off of Fort Worth Quilt Studio. This is this Three Sisters? Who is this? Land of Freedom. Oh, this is Edita Sitar from Laundry Basket. No wonder I liked it. It's just one of my favorites. This is the outside of the quilt bag. This is the inside. And this is the outside. And this is the inside. So those I had decided now with directional fabric, if I make it just a couple of inches narrower, oh, that's a little bit between 1 and 2 inches. Still a very wide bag. A full-size chart will fit in it sideways. I can get an extra bag out, and I have less waste. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting feedback. I think people really like that size. So it usually turns out to be somewhere between 13 and 14 inches wide and 12 inches high. So nothing like extra projects to do around the house. All right, what do we have coming up? The first weekend in November. Well, first of all, the Zoom retreat is next weekend for Pacific Northwest Summit. The first weekend in November, I'm flying to Midwest and going to the Midwest retreat. And it's in person. We'll be smart, socially distanced, where it makes the most sense. And I am so looking forward to that. My best friend Lori, my best stitch and travel friend, she won't be able to make it this time, but there'll be other people there. Farm Girl, Michelle Farm Girl, I'm going to ride with her. We're going to drive down there, so I'm super looking forward to getting out of the house. And I'm going to work on my Winter Rose Manor. I should have switched out on Monday, but what I decided to do is I'm going to stitch this until it's done. Then I'm going to pick up my Holly Berry Farm, and I'm going to stitch that until it's done. And I think with that timing, I should be able to get to Holly Berry Farm. I should be finishing up at about Halloween, which is great, right? How fun is that? That's it. Thank you. Thank you for all the people that come and visit with me. And, I feel like this is just like we're sitting at the kitchen table and having a discussion. And thank you for the great comments. Thank you for the joy you share. I love reading the comments. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, so I do heart them, and sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how busy I am. But I really appreciate y'all. And I just hope you have a great day. I will talk to you probably around Halloween, and I'll show you the good things that I got done. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Thanks.